We need to fix this defense. What's up, Vikings Nation, and welcome to the Minnesota Vikings Syndicate. I'm your host, Trey Wicks. Now, before we get started, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're only a couple away from 700, so help me reach that goal by hitting that subscribe. Anyways, look, we've seen the past couple weeks now the defense look atrocious, okay? 5 games in a row, we've let up over 400 yards. Well, that calls for, hey, we need to fix this defense ASAP. Ed Donatel, look, the reality is we're probably not going to let him go the rest of this year, probably in the offseason, who knows. But we still need to make adjustments. We need to fix this defense. So maybe the head coach, Kevin O'Connell, needs to kind of step in which he, I think, has so far. So we're going to look at an article by Sam Thiel, who is an insider, I believe, for the Minnesota Vikings. He writes their news and stuff like that. And he gave us a couple clips, or not even clips, just a couple notes from what Kevin O'Connell had to say about the defense, making adjustments, and making it, plain and simple, better. So he starts off by saying, the Vikings are fresh off a 34-23 loss to the Detroit Lions Sunday, where Minnesota gave up 464 yards and recorded no sacks or turnovers and just one pass defended. Now, the Vikings' defensive struggles primarily came on allowing big plays, as the Lions scored on passes of 41 and 48 yards on their second and fifth possessions. Now, O'Connell said while it's extremely difficult to issue a complete revamping of the defense, there are several areas within the scheme the team can change as it seeks improvements. He said, there's a lot of things on the table, whether it be personnel-based, whether it be schematics-based, changing things up, changing some looks, being a little bit more aggressive at times. Just picking our spots defensively to put our players in situations to be aggressive and to try to make some plays. He said, I think we've thrived this year when we've been able to turn the football over and be around the football, try to affect the quarterback with our rush. Finding ways to do that, different ways to do that, is something we've got to take a look at, as well as how we're deploying some of our players, and schematically, we have to do better, okay? And then he goes on with saying, I also think that you have enough inventory information telling you certain things. I think we've got to find ways to provide different looks and change-ups to the defense while staying true to hopefully the aggressive nature of trying to put your players in positions to make successful plays and activating the players we rely on to make plays in critical moments. He continued, he said, I think a lot goes into it. I think coaching is very important in times like this to make sure that although we don't want to completely revamp, okay, we have to be honest and look at things in a way where we can be the most competitive group we can possibly be over there, and that's what we are doing. Now, O'Connell added while the team can use the final 4 regular season games as a sample size of what can be accomplished differently defensively, it must focus on the particular week's opponent. The Vikings 10-3 will host the Colts, who are 4-8-1, at noon Central Time Saturday, with another chance to clinch the NFC North with a victory. He then goes on to basically say, look, I think we've got to try to do whatever we think is going to help us win this football game in this week. Now, as the season tends to go on and on, I think it's important that we start, and we always do. We always go into these games trying to do whatever we think is the best to win that particular week. But I think we can establish, or try to establish, some of the things we can think of that we think can be possible fixes on some of our issues we've had of late with explosive plays and teams being able to take advantage of maybe some things they're seeing on tape. So we've got to try to do that first and foremost. If we can do that on the short term and start building an inventory of things that can be put in our toolbox to help with some of those issues, then we can rely on some of those big things in addition to personnel we think gives us the best possible chance to win and have success, and then be able to pair that together week in and week out to give the Minnesota Vikings a chance to win and play in all 3 phases in a way that, can contribute to winning football. Okay, a lot to digest there, right? But I think he's saying all the right things. Look, he knows we have to make changes. We have to surprise the defense, right? I talked about this with one of my buddies the other day. Look, yeah, we run a 3-4. But what's stopping us from saying, you know what? Let's cause some chaos on that offensive side. Let's show them a 4-3 real quick. Just out of nowhere, right? It's like, let's say it's the start of the second quarter and we come out in a 4-3. They're not prepared. Or maybe after halftime, Maybe after halftime, because we look okay in the first half, sort of. But when we come out in the second half, it's like, okay, where's this team? What are we doing? So maybe sneak in a play like that, sneak in a 4-3 defense, or a nickel double A gap type. I don't know what you have to do. Just make those adjustments. We have to fix this. Get Ed Donatel going. Get these players to believe in what he's trying to do. Okay, we have got to be better. I think everyone in this fan base knows that. Ed Donatel has taken a lot of the heat, which he should, okay, because he doesn't have these guys ready to rock and roll on defense. So we have to fix it. Kevin O'Connell's going to hit it head on. And like you said, week by week, let's take it slowly. Every single game is a new game. And this Sunday, we got the Colts. So anyways, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're only a couple away from 700. So make sure to subscribe. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, folks, and SKOL Vikes.